Hello and welcome to my awesome blah blah blah. Wow, what was that? Hello and welcome to my awesome health journey. I am Brett Dupree talking about my awesome health journey. And today I finally decided to talk about a topic that I've been putting off for a while. Why? I don't really know. Basically, I was going to start off with current political discourse. Today, this video is perfect, and I really thought about it. And like since 2016 at least, has there not been perfect opportunity to make this video because like there's always something happening in the world that sucks. Basically, I'm talking about something that I did for my mental health, and that is finally stop getting into online arguments with people who are never going to switch sides and just turns into a shouting match where each person thinks the other person's an idiot at the end. And really just not getting into online stuff as much, especially like I find it important to be informed in the world and understand what's happening, especially if I want to be an informed voter. But to not jump into the rabbit hole of what's going on in this world and reading about everything, uh, unless I'm going to do something about it, like literally do something about it. So basically after 2016 especially, but honestly I've been doing this since the beginning of the internet because there's something cathartic about getting online and getting your anger out, especially when you're a person like me at the time who had social anxiety and couldn't really get into arguments in real life. So getting online and being able to insult people for not thinking the way I do and calling them idiots just felt good. And that continued for a long time. Of course, as I matured, I got better at not being such a jerk online, but still decently jerk online. But with 2016 and everything that happened, and with COVID and everything that happened, and I really got into learning about QAnon and all that stuff, and really understanding the history of anti-Semitism. And I'm not talking about what you think I'm talking about. I'm talking about like how prevalent it is in our society and history. Uh, it's just huge. Like almost every conspiracy theory I got into when I was just fascinated by conspiracy theories, almost all of them are based off anti-Semitism. Just almost all of them have anti-Semitic root. It's just wow. But just getting into that rabbit hole and just making that decision. This is something I just made a couple years ago during my depression, and I just realized I had to stop listening to so many podcasts of everything going wrong with this world, listening and really reading about white supremacy and the history of white supremacy, and really delving into just the true history of this country and what we did to the Native Americans and like things of that, and what the government of this country did to Native Americans, and just almost how everything I hate in this world right now is based as a basis in racism and basis in just hatred of other people for something they can't control for the sake of a few people wanting power. I know I'm not getting into political discourse, but it's hard not to like get my more views out there. I'm not trying to get my views out there, but what I'm saying is just kind of taking myself out and reading enough to I'm satisfied I have an understanding of what's going on, and listening to a certain amount of people, but not delving into it, and especially not getting into adversarial conversations with people, because that is just negative to my mental health. That doesn't help me at all. It just makes me angry and just angry over nothing and nothing I could really do about it. That's the thing I discovered is like, or for me, is getting angry at something that I'm not going to take action with it just weighs on me. It just makes me feel like crap. And so, yeah, I hate the homelessness situation in this country, and I could read all about it, but if I'm not going to go out there and help the homeless and volunteer and do those things, I shouldn't really dedicate all my life to it. I should do what I want to do, right? But not really, or with almost any, and I just pick homeless because I live in Seattle. We have a very unfortunate homeless situation here. Houselessness, I should say. Unhoused. But, like, unless I'm going to really do something about it, I shouldn't dedicate so much of my energy to it. and especially not dedicating my energy to arguing about anything important. Like right now, I'm in an argument online about how much I hate Monopoly, and that doesn't really bother me. I'm fine with saying I hate Monopoly. I don't care if people disagree with my hatred of Monopoly. Um, I just feel sorry for him because Monopoly is a terrible game. But I can do that. I can get into arguments about football because on a whole, football doesn't matter, and for the most part, football doesn't cause people to die. For the most part, right? Just arguing that the Dolphins are still a good team even though they got blown out by Buffalo and they're still a Super Bowl contender doesn't have gigantic implementations in this world. It's just kind of a fun thing to argue about. But getting into arguments about important things that like hurt my soul just doesn't need for me to happen. I had to step out of that because it just weighed on me and fed my depression rather than help my depression, right? Help my mental health. And like arguing about how Monopoly sucks, and because it doesn't it will not put me down a spiral of hopelessness, right? So yeah, so that's basically something I just want to talk about, is just taking myself out of getting into arguments online with random people over things that are important, that I truly care about, that I truly feel is big, because that's really not good for my mental health. And also not diving into those topics too much, because like unless I'm going to dedicate my life to all those topics, because it's impossible to dedicate my life to everything. Even if I decide to say like, yeah, I'm going to dedicate a huge part of my life to helping homeless, or helping race relations, or helping whatever, climate change, or helping any of those things, it's impossible to do everything. And when I want to do everything, it just weighs. And so, and honestly, right now I just really need to focus on my health, especially my mental and physical health. And that's my number one thing for myself right now. That's 100%. It's just really getting my mind right and really getting my body right, because I neglected my body especially for too long, and it turned out a lot of things I was doing for my mind didn't help out because I became depressed. Or maybe I'm just being too hard on myself, and like sometimes things happen. And yeah, my friend is right. I do look good with a beard. Yeah, what can I say? Anyways, love you for who you are. I hope you have an amazing day.